Thank you. Hi, everyone, and welcome to our Stevens webinar. My name is Marina, and I am with my colleague here, Amanda.
Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you all talking about Stevens. Thank you so much for joining us today. We will go ahead and get started at this point in time, but we certainly are very excited to be talking to you and interacting with you. We welcome any questions that you have. Please go ahead and add the questions as we are speaking. Of course, we will address the questions at the end of the session, but you're welcome to add any questions in the meantime, okay? Thank you so much for joining again. Excellent. So today's topic is how STEM graduate programs can benefit you. We're very excited to be here, as I said, and ultimately we know that all of you are looking for a graduate program. Today, the objective of our session is really to present to you why STEM programs are so beneficial. Our presentation will touch upon the benefits of these programs, what factors to consider when thinking about a STEM graduate program. And lastly, we will share with you some quotes from Stevens alumni who have decided to choose a STEM program for many, many reasons, okay? So we definitely hope that by the end of this session, you will be much more familiar with the benefits of STEM. Excellent. Next slide, please. Now, a STEM program, as you all know it, is either a science, technology, engineering, or mathematics graduate program. Some of you may have started your search for graduate programs, and perhaps you're trying to determine which is the right one for you. If you're thinking about a program within the science fields, within the technology fields, within the engineering or mathematics fields, great, then this is a great presentation for you. If you have not yet thought about considering a graduate program in these areas, well, here are a few reasons why you will consider a STEM graduate program, okay? The first and foremost reason is that technology is at the core of everything, of all industries, whether it be engineering, business, science, math. You can find technology in everything that we do. Technology really drives value. And you can see based on this slide here that one of the strongest and most prominent companies back in the early 2000s was actually Microsoft, right? As we move through the years, you can see that the diagram also shows that by 2018, technology companies like Apple, Alphabet, Microsoft, Amazon all dominated the industries and were at the top of the funnel. So what does this mean to you as a prospective graduate student? Well, this does mean that technology will continue to dominate in all fields, and you need to develop knowledge of how to use technology to solve societal problems, okay? Additionally, this means that employers will be looking for graduates from these programs, hence why you should consider a technology graduate program, okay? Excellent. So another reason why you should consider a STEM graduate program is because it does offer transferable technical and management skills, okay? And what does this mean? Well, this means that STEM graduate programs in the curriculum, while you are studying, you are taking courses that are increasing your technical skills, but you're also taking courses that are increasing your management skills, okay? If we take the business industry, for instance, the current trends include age of networks, age of platforms, age of data, and these current trends are all forces of change. Why? Because employers are looking to hire folks who are skilled in these areas, okay? These trends are likely to continue and intensify. And again, this means that employers are going to be looking for graduates who have skills in all of these areas, okay? Which is a second reason why you should consider a STEM graduate program. A third reason you should consider a STEM graduate program is because it invokes groundbreaking and life-changing research, okay? So if you are passionate about research, and research could be done in any area. It's not just the industry of the sciences. Research is really a part of all areas in industry, okay? So if you, as an individual, want to make a change in your current industry, this means that you need to do research, right? Research often leads to data. Data leads to decisions. Decisions often leads to a new design or process. And ultimately, a new design or process results in a new product or an improved service, right? So all research directly applies and affects our everyday lives, whether it be in the financial industry, in the healthcare industry. Research is in everything that we do. The current pandemic that we're living in, COVID-19, is a perfect example of the need for research and STEM professionals, right? Think about the number of agencies, universities that are currently studying the disease to understand it. There are certain organizations that are taking time to really invest in looking for more diagnostic tests. And then there are other groups that are really studying and finding ways to treat this disease, right? So all in all, the neat thing about STEM and these STEM programs is that research is something that is a part of it. And if you're interested in STEM, this is a reason why, again, you should be looking into a STEM graduate program degree. Okay. Now, a fourth reason that you might want to consider a STEM graduate program is because of its rewarding career opportunities. Okay. The career outcomes for a STEM graduate program are excellent. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, employment in STEM-related occupations was expected to grow to more than 9 million by the year of 2022, which is actually right around the corner, right? And so this is an impressive statistic. And this statistics often serve to make a point, to prove a point. And these statistics are a true testament that, again, graduates in the STEM fields are in demand. Another example of particular business STEM professionals who are in demand is, according to the GMAC Application Trends Survey, more than 90% of Fortune Global 100 and 500 companies hired MBA talent in 2019, okay? So again, you can see that STEM graduate programs are in demand in all different areas, okay? Not just in technology science, but also there are some STEM business programs that are very much in demand. So with that said, now that you know a few of the benefits as to why you should be considering a STEM graduate program, let's talk about how you can choose the right STEM graduate program, okay? Many of you might have started your search for a graduate program already. You might be looking at different university websites. You might be reviewing different program lists. This is the best first step that you can take to understand which universities have STEM programs and which ones don't, okay? So when you're looking at the different university websites, search for their full list of graduate programs. Look for their master's programs, look for their PhD programs, and then further look for a refined list of programs that are STEM designated, okay? Many universities will have this posted on their website. Stevens, I'm very proud to say, is one of these universities. We have our full list of 50 master's programs, 20 PhD programs, 120 graduate certificate programs, and then we have a much narrowed down list of what the STEM programs are, okay? And essentially, when you're determining which is the right program, which is the right concentration, which is the right courses that you want to take, you want to look at that STEM designated program list so that you understand, okay, if I'm interested in electrical engineering, let me double check if Stevens has an electrical engineering program that is STEM focused, okay? These are all the things that you need to look out for. But first and foremost, make sure that the schools that you're looking into are essentially have a list of STEM graduate programs on their website, okay? And if you do not see this information, make sure that you are asking the admission officers for this. To talk a little bit more about Stevens in particular, I can tell you that we have many, many master's programs across 3 different schools. We have our Schaefer School of Engineering and Science. We have our School of Systems and Enterprises. And this slide shows just a few graduate programs that we have, again, within the master's fields, okay? You can see that we have programs like biomedical engineering, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, systems engineering. And at the master's level, I can tell you that most of these programs are 2-year programs. They're about 30 credits long, which means that it is approximately 10 courses in duration. In terms of how long it takes to complete, some students can complete these programs in 1.5 years. Other students decide that they want to complete the programs in 2 years. Why? So that they can take advantage of certain work opportunities that we at Stevens ensure our students take part in, okay? Because ultimately we understand that the experience that is needed to go out into industry is not just based on books. It's not just coming from the courses. It's coming from practical experience, okay? Perfect. Now, the next school that we also have STEM programs in is our School of Business. It is AACSB accredited, which means that it is accredited for several of its business programs. Within this school, you can see the STEM graduate programs are actually highlighted on this slide with the red border. You can see that these programs under School of Business are a little different than our programs from School of Engineering and Science and School of Systems and Enterprises. These programs vary in program duration. They are a little bit longer. As you can see, there are some programs that are 39 credits. There are other programs that are 36 credits. But in terms of how long they take to complete, it is pretty much a standard of 2 years. So students who are interested in these fields, again, you should think about what is the type of skill set that you want to focus in on. Do you want to focus in on leadership, soft skills, and organization? Then perhaps you might be looking at a STEM program that is closer to the left hand of the slide. If you are looking for a program that is much more focused in technology, math, or application, then you should consider programs that are towards the right side of the slide, like financial analytics, like business intelligence and analytics. Again, these are all things that you have to think about. Think about what your future career goals are, and then work backwards to decide what is the best degree that is going to take you there. And of course, if it's a STEM degree, even better because of the reasons we discussed earlier. There's a lot of benefits to STEM programs, right? But ultimately, I did want to make you aware that this is what is offered in terms of STEM degrees at Stevens, okay? Perfect. So now I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Marina, and she's going to continue the presentation.
Thank you, Amanda. So far we've discussed what STEM program is and the benefits of STEM program, and to continue the tips of things to look out for in your journey of researching and picking a school. One of the other benefits of the STEM programs is the CPT and OPT opportunities, and this is huge, especially for international students applying to U.S. schools, because this is really what's going to give you the in when it comes to landing your job after graduation. So the difference between CPT and OPT is the CPT is essentially an internship that you take in between your, during the summer semester in between your 2 main years. And then the OPT is the work that you do for the companies that you apply afterwards that lets you have an extended stay in the US. So it is important to know how long the program is. Is it 1, 1.5, or 2 years? And as Amanda mentioned, most of our programs are standard 2 years long. But of course, depending on the course load and your plans, you can complete it in a little less time than that. So if the school's program is 1 year, basically after that 1 year, you'll probably just hop straight into your OPT, where you're applying for positions at jobs to start working and to start your extended stay. Whereas if your studies are 1.5 to 2 years, the summer in between, so the CPT kicks in, you're allowed to start pursuing that after completing 2 full semesters in the US. So if your program is 1.5 years long, after your 1 year, that summer, you'll do your CPT, and then you'll come back and finish your program for the following fall. And that would be the same case for a 2-year program, where you complete your 1 year, you do your CPT that summer, and then you finish off your 2nd year, and you go into your OPT. So that's just to give you an idea of how it's set up, some expectations for it, and so on. So the second, the next point, I forgot which number we're on, but the next thing to look out for in your application process is the location of the schools that you're interested in. And this is very, very important, especially here in the US, because there are certain regions that are very popular with certain industries. So we are located in New Jersey, and we are right across the city, or right across the river from New York City. So as you all know, New York City is, you know, the capital and, well, what we call the capital of the world, but that's our opinion. And this has everything, the finance, a lot of Fortune 500 companies. I mean, this is really the central of so many opportunities, and, you know, and that's what it's famous for. But also New Jersey does offer, you know, if you want to stay in New Jersey, for example, there's a lot of opportunities here. You know, specifically, for example, if you're interested in pharmaceutical manufacturing, or you wanted to work for a pharmaceutical industry with the degree that you have doing analytics or data or whatever it is that you decide, New Jersey is a huge hub for pharmaceutical headquarters. We have Merck, we have Pfizer, we have Bristol Myers Squibb. We have so many different industries that are pharmaceutical industries that are headquartered here. So really, it's important for you to reflect on, you know, not just the degree that you want, but the type of industry that you want to work for and what you want to do. You know, do you want to work for a financial institution like Merrill Lynch or Goldman Sachs? These are, you know, these are things to consider. And these are also, here at Stevens, a network that we offer with these types of companies as well, which we'll dive into more deeply on the next slide. So the location matters. You want to see where it is, what the region is most, what popular industries are in that region. And of course, you know, you have the East Coast and the West Coast. These are two major metropolitan areas. And of course, you know, you do take the advantage of being in New York, where you're surrounded with other states like Pennsylvania and New Jersey that also offer very big industries and companies. And also other, you know, and if you're interested in engineering, we also have big headquartered companies like Schindler. So just keep that in mind as well. The services. So this is super, super important, because now at this point, you kind of have an idea of what program you want, what kind of industry you're interested in, but you need to see how the institution or the university itself is going to benefit you. So what are some services to look into? First is the career services. And this is the most important one, because this is what's really going to set the tone of your next steps after graduation, which is important, you know, because you are on a time limit with your STEM, with your extension with the OPT. So you want to make sure you have things in order for yourself. So you want to go to their career services pages. You can send emails to those to the staff that work for the career services. See how many times they offer fairs on campus. So, for example, at Stevens, we offer per year about 3 to 4 career fairs. So what we do is we invite our network, people from the Fortune 500 companies that we know, and all types of companies, and they come, and there's different buildings on campus in which we fill up the whole gymnasium with different tables and different representatives, and you guys go around in suits with your resumes, and you're prepared to network and ask questions and, you know, connect with people and industries that you're interested in. And this is a great service, because these companies, they come to Stevens because they know our reputation, they know the kind of students that we accept and what we offer through them, and they do, of course, want to select the cream of the crop employees for their companies. So they trust that they're going to get that, you know, that brilliance that's expected out of Stevens students. So that's one service to look into and to see if it's offered at schools. You also want to know what kind of network they do have. And our career services is highly ranked, which we are very proud of. And this is important because at the graduate level, Stevens has a majority of students that are international. So we have really mastered, of course, and continue to improve the services we offer to international students, because we understand the investment and we understand how this is a big move to come from a different country to the US. And we help you assimilate, you know, by giving you expectations of what interviews will be like in the US. The Career Services Center will also expose you to the culture expectations of certain industries, because every industry has a certain culture. Some could be more formal, some are more casual, but it's just important to understand those nuances. So these are, and then, they do give you tips on what kind of questions to ask in an interview. So really from A to Z, they guide you to network, to know what to say, to how to prepare your resume, to how to dress, to how, they help you for every step of the way. And that's really important because as an institute, it is very important for us to ensure that our students are landing jobs after graduation. And we thankfully have been ranking very highly in that. We do on average have a 96% job match. And those are students finding jobs 3 months before to 6 months after graduation, really, which is excellent. And just one thing I've noticed is that STEM programs are more popular amongst international students or other countries more than the US, ironically, even though we offer some of the best STEM programs here. So it is to your advantage to come to the States and to pursue your STEM programs, because as an international student, you're competing more with other international students and less domestic students. So that's something that could help you. So that's one service. Another service you want to look into is the Graduate Student Life Available. And this is also important because it is important for you to, of course, focus on your studies and excel in your studies, but also you do want to have the balance of the student life at the university. You are only here for 1 to 2 years. You want to network with other students in the faculty. You do want to, while you're in the US, take advantage and go on trips and to do fun things with other clubs and other, graduate student life, their focus is to provide a fun and a holistic experience for you, which is important for you to take advantage of because you do want to see things and connect with others and join clubs and groups. And we at Stevens have an ample amount of clubs and groups, whether they're religious or cultural or academic. There's so many things available to you here. We have different sports clubs as well if you were interested in, just playing a sport just to de-stress and have something to look forward to after your studies. So Graduate Student Life is another service that you want to look into as well. Another service is what can the university offer from a financial standpoint. So at Stevens, we do offer scholarships. They typically cover between 20 to 30%. So it is a partial scholarship and it is merit-based. So the faculty will look at your application and there's no separate application for the scholarship. Once you submit your one application, you're automatically reviewed for a scholarship. And then they will assess, okay, like, are you eligible for one in the first place? And then if you are, they assess, how much they are willing to award you. And so that is one. So when submitting and gathering your materials for your application, you do want to make sure that you are making yourself as competitive as possible. So if you can take the GRE, now for spring 21, we are waiving the GRE because we understand that still some of the testing facilities are closed. But in general, if you are able to take it, you do want to do your best in getting a great score. If you are still in school and you're in your last semester or you still have some time left, take advantage and try to increase your GPA. Any research or internships that you've done throughout undergraduate or post-undergraduate, include it in your resume, include it in your application, your statement of purpose. Everything that you've done, you can include because you want to paint yourself in the best light as possible. So to earn that scholarship. And okay, so those are some services to keep in mind. So the Graduate Student Life, the Career Services Center, the financial options like scholarships. So those things you should keep in mind as well. Okay, next, the infrastructure that matters. This is also important, especially in STEM because it is so research-based. You want to see what kind of labs these schools have. So at Stevens, we have 2 Hanlon labs. This is with the School of Business. And one of the labs is filled with Bloomberg terminals, which are very, very expensive. And we've invested in over 20 of them. So everyone in the classroom gets the opportunity to become Bloomberg certified. And it's a very cool lab because when you see it, there's a ticker on the top. So it looks exactly like a mini Wall Street building with the ticker and the terminals and like the cool screens. It's you know, I hope you guys get to see it. It is very, very impressive. So, you know, that's one lab that you get to use, you know, of course, depending on your studies. So we have, you know, you want to make sure that the schools have the utmost technology. What kind of labs, what kind of resources are available, what kind of certifications comes with the labs that are available to you, like what kind of exposure and skills is it going to give you. So keep that in mind as well, because that's also something that you can mention when you're going in for your interviews, that you are, you know, imagine you want to work in finance and you can tell them already from the get-go, I know how to use a Bloomberg terminal. So that's, all these things are building up to a fruitful career, which is your ultimate goal. All right. So now that we've mentioned a whole bunch of tips and things to look out for in your journey to applying and selecting a school, we did want to share just a few testimonies of students that have worked with us that are, of course, international as well. So we asked we reached out to 3 students and we asked them, you know, 2 main questions. Why did you choose a STEM program and how has the STEM program helped your career? So Andres Contreras is from Venezuela and he graduated in 2014. And he chose STEM. He said that it was an opportunity to focus on what he really liked and put into practice your undergraduate education and he said an opportunity to focus on what you really like after you've put into practice your undergrad education and matured professionally. So really STEM program is, when you choose a graduate program, it's something that you want to do, that you want to pursue. So you like and you're passionate about the skills that you're learning in this new chapter because this is what you want and how you want to develop yourself professionally. And then we asked, how did this improve your career outcome? He said, I was able to pursue opportunities within my graduate program's field with confidence and proof of my investment in this new career path. And again, it is very important, you know, for us here at Stevens, that your investment to study with us is worth your while. And so far, I think we've been doing a really good job with that. Even in this pandemic, you know, thankfully, a lot of our students are landing jobs, you know, during the pandemic, doing their Zoom interviews and applying online. So because STEM is so booming and so important, there's opportunity all the time. Next, we have Thushara Tom, and she said that her STEM program allowed her to work with new technologies and to learn how to use them to analyze data. You know, at Stevens, we call ourselves the School of Innovation because the way data and analytics, it is constantly changing. There's new softwares out all the time, and you are trained to be up to date. You know, you will learn amazing and relevant softwares like Tableau, SAS, Python, R, all of that stuff. And that is what you need in today's world. But also you'll learn the skill set to just know how to adapt and to be relevant and to have, you know, a mind to always learn a new skill set, new softwares, so that you are always relevant no matter what the times call for. And then we asked again, you know, how did it help the career outcome? She said, I was able to showcase my skill set and versatility in using various programming languages and technologies. This definitely gave me an advantage while applying for roles. Lastly, we have Brian Marty, who just recently graduated in May 2020. So he was one of the people that did land a job during or amidst the pandemic. And he said that STEM, you know, he's a lover of building things and he loves to solve problems, and STEM has helped him find the root of problems and then allow him to build and create a solution. Because ultimately, what does STEM, you know, allow you to do? You work with data, and you want to always find the best possible solution to advance the company. And then we asked, how did this improve your career? He said, STEM has improved my problem-solving skills. My classes and projects exposed me to learn and gain different types of critical thinking skill sets. The hands-on experience was also instrumental to learning and applying those experiences at work. So not only here at Stevens, we also offer courses where you get to work on real life projects during the semester. So this is aside of your OPT and CPT opportunities, but within just the classes themselves, you get to work with real-time clients, you know, using their personal data. And it's very cool because I'm a student and I attended one of these courses. It was marketing analytics. And we had to sign a non-disclosure agreement that we weren't going to expose the client, of course. And then we had to present to them, you know, using their data, what was profiting them, where they were losing money, where can they gain more money. And it was a great experience. So that's something that you also get to benefit here at Stevens, at least. So in a nutshell, the sky truly is the limit with STEM programs. I hope that we were able to really paint that picture for you and get you excited that there is opportunity here in the States in general, and especially in the metro region, New York, New Jersey. So, you know, STEM really is a field that is very fruitful to you for your career. It will prepare you for future in-demand careers. We are in a technology world. It's not going to go anywhere, and it's only going to get more technological. So again, this is a good field to be investing in. And lastly, it just makes sense to pursue a versatile degree that will allow you to choose between employers and industries. The skill sets that you get with, you know, the technical skills and the analytical skills mixed with your management skills that you're going to be learning here, all of this is going to give you the edge so that ultimately you do have the freedom of choice to choose in between jobs. And that really is such an amazing feeling, because when you are in demand, because you're offering in-demand skills, you have the flexibility to choose and to really pick an industry that you want. And lastly, another tip to look out for is, you know, see what events schools are offering. Now that we are in a extra virtual world with the pandemic, there's a lot of webinars and open houses that are available through virtually through Zoom or, you know, however else it's offered. So, you know, go to the school websites. You can always visit the Stevens website, you know, search events and see what's available to you. At Stevens, we've actually created a dynamic schedule where you get to meet specific faculty from specific programs, and they'll talk to you face to face on Zoom. They'll answer your questions. They'll even give you a mini like a mini lecture from something that they would teach at Stevens, just so you have a taste of, you know, what the content is like, what you're going to be learning, how does it sound. And it's really a great opportunity to be exposed. It's kind of like a sampler, really. It's a little sample of what the school offers. So that's something that I think we recently started, and it's been a huge hit with the students that have been interested. And lastly, make sure to connect with the schools that you are interested in online. Here are all of our social media pages. Social media is a great way to connect with us. We answer our DMs, our messages on Facebook. So, you know, make sure to connect with schools and with us through that. And with that, that concludes our presentation. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm going to exit the presentation so we can start answering your questions. All right. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you, Marina. I started to answer a few questions. I think I might have answered some out of order, so I apologize for that, but trust us that we will try to get to every question possible. Marina, you can go ahead and get started if you like, and then I'll jump in.
Perfect. Okay, so the first question is, are the tuition fees the same for international students and for green card holders? So yes, our tuition, we are a private institution, so that means that it's one price for all. So whether you're a citizen or green card holder or an international student, the tuition is the same price, which is listed on our website, and it's roughly about $20,000 per semester for the tuition. Okay, next, how do I, I'm trying to see the whole question. Oh, here we go, okay. Okay, next question. Is it important or effective when our application process for the graduate program and scholarship if we have work experience? Yes, if you have work experience, that you must include in your resume or your statement of purpose. We do like to see work experience, especially if you are, do want to focus on the management skills. So that will definitely give you an edge. I always say never overlook something that you've done. There's always experience in different projects that you work on. So include as much as you can, or at least, prioritize what you think gave you the most experience, because that will definitely help you. And we do, typically we require 2 letters of recommendations for the master's applications. So, if you want to, it would also help to write about your experiences with those references, just to give a more holistic approach. But it's not required, but it's just a tip. But again, yes, definitely include work experience. It's a huge tip.
Absolutely. And Marina, if I can just go ahead and elaborate a little bit, because I know that there were a few more questions with regards to application requirements, and I'm sure that you all are wondering what are our minimum GPA, GRE, TOEFL, IELTS requirements. So I'll go ahead and address that now, because I know I was answering some towards the bottom. So in essence, again, know that our application, the review process is done in a very holistic approach. So what does this mean? That yes, GPA, GRE, GMAT, TOEFL, IELTS, all these scores matter, but they are not the only factors that will influence admission to Stevens and funding to Stevens, okay? So as Marina mentioned, you do need to make sure you're building a good, strong academic profile. If you know you haven't done so well in your undergraduate studies and your GPA might not be a 3.0 out of 4, which is, by the way, the average of many of our applicants to Stevens, then perhaps take some extra time to prepare accordingly for the GRE or the GMAT exam, right? If you score higher than the average, and right now, again, the average for the GRE and GMAT programs does vary by program, but in general, it is about a 300, 305. If you happen to score higher than a 305, well, that is already helping your academic profile. It is making it stronger, right? Even though you might have a low GPA. In terms of TOEFL, IELTS, English language requirements, I know that that was also a very common question in the very beginning of the session. So our minimum requirements for these English language requirements is a 74 for the TOEFL exam, a 6 for the IELTS exam, and a 100 for Duolingo. We are accepting Duolingo, and we definitely encourage all of you who are looking to take an English language exam to consider it, as this is a convenient test to take from the comfort of your home, okay? So for English language requirements, we do have minimum scores. But for GPA, GRE, GMAT, we only have average scores. Again, because of the belief that our academic departments and our admission committees will really review applications holistically, okay? So build the strongest academic profile you can. Make sure your resume, your statement of purpose are all pointing to former work experience, former research experience, that they are identifying why you want a specific Stevens degree and why you want a specific STEM program. Okay, thank you, Maria.
Thank you. Okay, next question. Which program is the most popular and beneficial for international students who intend to do their career in the US? So you have STEM and you have non-STEM programs, and STEM programs, all different types, are very popular among international students. Some specific programs that I find to be more popular are computer science. That's a very popular one, along with cybersecurity. They're in the same department. You also have the big data programs like business intelligence analytics, financial analytics, data science. Those are also very popular. I mean, there's so many more, but it depends what you want. And then, of course, you have your, different engineerings. We have ocean engineering, mechanical, electrical, computer, software. All the engineering programs are super popular as well. Sorry, I'm interviewing you. Did you want to happen? Oh, okay. STEM, because it's very specific in the skill sets that you get, they're always going to be in demand. So you have the luxury of choosing what you like. So yeah, but those are just in general, like ones from the admission side that I've seen, like just a popular demand of them. especially anything with computers, like cybersecurity, computer science, with how technologically heavy we are and like needing protection. This is like one of the trending industries. Okay, next question. What is the highest scholarship amount for undergraduate degrees as an international student? So Amanda and I, we both represent the graduate department, so we focus solely on the graduate admissions. In general, yes, like undergraduate students do get scholarships, but it also varies. There is no really, and this is the same for a graduate, there is no like max amount. It really is just what the faculty want to offer. So really the range for the graduate at least is 20 to 30% of the tuition. So there's really no max. It's just a matter of your merit, because it is a partial scholarship at the end of the day. All right, next question. I'm highly interested in mechanical engineering. Nice, for a master's degree. Excellent. I want to move to the US to find a job in the US. What program should I attend? So mechanical engineering is a great program. My brother is a mechanical engineer, so he works in Schindler, which is like one of the companies that we work closely with. So yeah, I think that's a great degree. I guess, what program should I attend? You can certainly do the master's in mechanical engineering. We also offer a master's in engineering management. So if you already have an ME undergrad, maybe that's something you might want to look into. But I think the master's in ME is great, and you can take your management programs within there as electives to get that management experience. So I hope that answers the question, but we are happy to, of course, further advise even after the session. And help you, decide what would be a good program for you. And a good way, if you're deciding in between or you're not sure, definitely connect with faculty members, at Stevens. They are very hands-on deck. They are very responsive. So they would love to share their opinion since they come from that industry and really help guide and advise you, career-wise and program-wise, what would be a good fit for you. And Amanda and I, the rest of our staff would be happy to connect you with the faculty. All right, next question. What are the most popular for international students? Okay, so that was similar, like the computer sciences, the engineerings, the things I've listed before, very popular. Again, but STEM across the board is a good industry because it's specific to skill sets. So it's really a matter of what you like.
Marina, and if I may add something as well with regards to what is the most popular program, I think, ultimately you as a prospective graduate student should also be considering what is it that you yourself see yourself doing in 5 or 10 years in terms of work, right? What is your dream job? What is your ultimate career goal, right? Because you want to choose a program that's going to take you to that next level, that's going to help you get closer to that dream job. So choosing a program really ultimately depends on what educational background you have, right? If you have done an engineering program as part of your undergrad degree, if you have done a science program, and ultimately what you're looking to do in the future. Together, you have to use both sets of information to really determine what is the right program. Because again, the right program for one student might not be the same for another student. And so to Marina's point, again, make sure that if you are not right now completely convinced on what is the right track to follow to move your career to the next level, that you are connecting with us so that we have this one-on-one conversation so that we get to know what you've studied in the past, what type of research and work experience you have had, but more importantly, where are you looking to go in the future? That is exactly the same things that our academic departments and our faculty will ask you and will want to know, which is why it is so crucial that if you are going to complete an application to Stevens, you do indicate this. Because ultimately we want to see and we want to understand why you're looking for a particular program, okay? So if you're right now starting your search and you're not sure of what program, start there. Think about your undergraduate studies and think about where you see yourself in the future, okay? Thank you, Marina.
Nice, thank you. Okay. All right. It says, as I know, we can have 1 year work permit with OPT. I also heard that we can extend our OPT for 6 months, 1.5 years in total. If you graduated from an engineering program, is that true? So yes, the engineering programs are all STEM. So Amanda, the OPT gives you a 2-year or 3-year extension?
Yes, 2 year.
So,
2 years.
Yeah.
So you have your traditional time, which I believe is 1 year as part of OPT once you graduate, as part of being a student from a STEM program, and then you have an extension. So it's a total of about 3 years, I understand, that you will have to gain some work experience in the US before going back to your home country, okay? So again, this is another amazing benefit of the STEM programs. And as I know that there are quite a few questions that I've answered via chat with related to career services and how do you secure a job and what is the outcome of students, right? And we've talked about this already in the sense that Stevens does an amazing job in placing students. There is no guarantee whatsoever, okay? But it's up to the student also to put effort, right? To put effort from day one. First and foremost, to know where they see themselves in the future, to know what type of job they want to secure, but also to use all the resources that Stevens has to offer. We spoke about the Career Center, which does amazing things with our students in terms of resume, interview, prep. And of course, we also have an incredible network of alum, okay? We've been around since 1870. So this means that we have many alum out in industry. It is to your best interest to network when you come to campus with current students, with alum, with faculty, because the bigger the network, the more you get to know people, the more they can assist you with following the right career path, okay? So ultimately, when it comes to securing jobs, when it comes to trying to, again, take advantage of that OPT, the earlier you start your search for a full-time position, the more networking that you do, and the more you use our resources at Stevens, the better your outcomes are going to be. Of course, this is the reason why our percentages for outcomes are so great, but you have to know that it will take effort on your part, okay? Thank you, Marina.
All right. I lost my place. Okay. All right. Is it possible to start online and continue our education on campus for next semester? So yes, with everything happening right now, we have really been accommodating all of our international, or all our students really, both domestic and international. So as of right now, you do have a remote start available. So come spring 21, we already prepared where if we need to accommodate and have you come and do online first and then come to campus the next semester, that certainly is an option. We also offered another option, at least for fall 20, where students can come to campus mid semester, so around October, so they could start online, and then if they're able to get their visa, they can come in the middle of the semester on campus and then just finish off the semester on campus live. So yeah, of course, we're hoping by spring 21, we'll be able to just start completely normal. Just everyone's allowed to come on campus. But of course, if the situation, stays the same and there's a need to continue offering the online accommodations, that will certainly be available to you. All right. Next, is there any changes in the start date and application deadlines? No. So for fall 2020, we started, classes already started. August 31st was the first day. We have international students on campus. We have those that are doing their online options as well. And we've done, the school really, I have to commend them. The leaders have done an excellent job making sure that it's safe, making sure it's accommodating. We've added more sections so that there's less people per classroom. There's a lot of sanitation mandations that are implemented. So the school is up and running and it's ready. So no changes in date, which is great. We do have preferred deadlines for the applications. They are found on our website. We say preferred because we offer rolling admissions, which means you can essentially apply at any time and we'll review it and offer a decision. Of course, the preferred deadlines are offered because, of course, the earlier you apply, the better it is. Why? Because we do have a pool of money for funding for these scholarships. So the earlier you apply, the bigger amount of money that's going to be available to you, and the higher your chances are to score or to land a scholarship. If you're applying, you know, a month before school starting, it doesn't mean there's no chances of a scholarship, but it just doesn't hurt to do things in advance. So yeah, everything is on schedule and all the dates and deadlines can be found on our website, including the academic calendar to just kind of see like when we have break, how long the semester is, what it looks like, what the start dates are. So spring 21 starts mid-January or like third week of January. So just in general, if you're interested in that. All right. Doesn't matter. Does it matter getting a master's degree unknown overseas university? Okay, I'm not entirely sure what the what exactly you mean, so I hope I answer it correctly. But it is important to, you want to go to in the US, reputation of the schools are very important because if a school has a good reputation, it's for a reason. It's because it's accredited. It's because they offer you a job. It's because they have a good network. It's because they have top of the line facilities. The reputation here in the US when it comes to universities is very important. So you don't want to just go to some like unknown random school. You want to see what the credentials the school has. Again, because you are paying tuition. You are paying, you know, come study here. So you want to make sure that you are getting your money's worth, that you are investing in something good. So you want to have a clear idea of what the school offers to make it worth your while, which again, the location, the infrastructure, all the stuff that we covered. You want to really do heavy research and look into all of those aspects. And you want to make sure you're also, you know, getting a degree that you like that's going to be worth it. So really you just want to decide what kind of STEM program or that you want to pursue. If I didn't answer the question properly, I apologize, but I'm happy to go over into more detail. Just let me know in the questions. Okay, do you offer online programs? Yes, not all of our programs are online, but a majority are. So that's actually a very good question. So on our website, you will see which programs are offered online. And they also include the STEM programs. So you just want to check it out on our website. But yeah, we do offer most of our programs online.
And I did add the link there, Marina. I don't know if you see it. Can you see it? Can you confirm that you see? Okay,
yeah, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, so Amanda threw the link in there for your reference. All right. Okay, so now I'm in the half where most of them have been answered. So
correct. I did go ahead and answer a few questions, but as Marina said, if you need additional clarification, you're more than welcome to, of course, add additional questions. I think perhaps it's a good idea if maybe we scroll to the top to see if any new questions have come in since that. And I also want to make sure that we are conscious of the time. And I see that we still have a few more minutes to go. So this is great. Keep those questions coming.
Nice. Okay, yes, we do have 3 more questions. One is, are there scholarships for athletes at the national level? So at Stevens, we do really only offer academic based scholarships. I find that the athletic scholarships are more geared towards undergrad. So if you're an undergrad, perhaps they have opportunities for that. But typically at the graduate level, across the board, it's more academic based. I'm interested in AI engineering. Does your university have any achievements about it? Yes, I could pull up the website in the meantime. We actually did have one professor who he used AI technology he's one of the computer science professors, and Professor Felipe Mordecai, and he used a wheelchair, you know, he was using where the wheelchair can be more mobile using AI technology so that it's easier for the person in the wheelchair to get around, you know, like reading terrain and things like that. It was very cool. The article is actually on our website. So if you look at the Stevens News, you will see a lot of accomplishments with AI, especially because that's huge for us here. So yeah, there is a lot of inventions that have been coming out of Stevens and innovations with the staff and with the students that work with them. So that is definitely pretty cool.
Yeah, and if I may add, Marina, you know, I think that this is great. It's fantastic to see that you're interested in such a hot topic like AI. I think if you are interested in learning more about what is happening in our Stevens labs on the topic of AI, or if you're interested in being connected with faculty to understand what research they're specifically working on, I think that is a great opportunity. There is a great opportunity for you to connect with us, to sign up, to send us your information. Essentially, we will add you to our mailing list, and whenever this information is disclosed, you will be one of the first individuals to learn about the achievements in areas in research, okay? Especially if you are interested in doing research at the graduate level, right? We spoke about STEM programs today. We spoke about how research is a huge part of it, right? But ultimately, you also know that if you are interested on the long run in doing research or in being a part of it, you probably do have to pursue a PhD program, right? So if you are a prospective student to a PhD program, one of the best things that we recommend at this point in time is that you are certainly reviewing and keeping up to date with all the achievements from a research perspective that a university has, okay? So again, please make sure that you are connecting with us, that if you have not yet gotten on our mailing list, that you do this, because this is a great way for you to learn more about what Stevens is doing and ultimately to find if there's a professor that you are willing to work with or that you would want to work with once you do apply to either a master's program under a thesis area or directly to a PhD program. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, so I don't see any new questions. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to type them in or in the questions.
Yes, you covered all the questions. So it was very informative. Would you like to share your email address in the chat box?
Yes.
So if there are more questions, they can contact you.
Yes, of course. We'll type them in. And I guess in the chat. I'm gonna write them in the chat.
Mm-hmm. I believe I just added mine.
Oh yeah, it's yours. Okay, perfect.
That's great. Thank you very much. So they can contact you if there are further questions.
Yes,
awesome. Great.
Yeah.
And maybe if we can just add one more link, I am going to add the link to our graduate events because as Marina mentioned, and as I mentioned as well, you do need to become very familiar with our Stevens website. And we certainly want you to continue connecting with us after today. So if you're interested in attending other workshops or webinars that we are doing, this is a great opportunity to do so. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add the link of our upcoming graduate events. Because of the times, of course, we have many graduate virtual open houses that are going to be hosted in the coming weeks and months, and we'd be more than happy to also see you. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you too. So the link would be great.
Yes, I just went ahead and added it. Excellent.
Thank you. Actually, it was very informative and very fruitful event. So is there anything you would like to add before we say goodbye?
On behalf of our office, you know, I just, again, want to reiterate our thanks for having you join our session today. I think, you know, we thank you for your time. We hope that this was informative and very beneficial. And we hope that, you know, you do stay connected with us if you're interested in knowing more about Stevens, or if you just have additional questions on certain items that were brought up today, please feel free to reach out to us, okay? Thank you, Marina.
Yeah, I just wanted to add two little things. If you guys do want to continue to connect, especially virtually like this face-to-face, we'd be happy to set up Zoom meetings with you. Just feel free to send an email to either myself or Amanda, and we'd be happy to, you know, set up a time where you can meet one-on-one or as a group, so whatever you like. And of course, if you do decide to submit an application, we will waive the application fee for you. So keep that in mind. And if you're interested in more than one program, you can always apply to more than one. So, you know, good luck with your research. And, you know, I do hope you get the opportunity to come visit the US and of course to come and enroll with Stevens, because I do really believe there's a lot of opportunity here for you. So thank you again all.
Thank you very much again. It was very nice to welcome you here.
Yes. Yes, and thank you, IEFT, for putting together this wonderful webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. So have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Stay safe.